Welcome to Wisdom Time. Today, we're diving into a really profound guide on how to find a deep sense of peace by connecting to what our source material calls a boundless, limitless ocean of divine mercy. You ever felt this, where your mind and your heart just get completely tangled up in this one persistent question? What is best for me? What should I do? It just loops and loops, doesn't it? And, it's a really heavy burden, the source of this constant nagging anxiety for so many of us.
But what if, and just imagine this, what if there was a way to find real freedom from that worry? In our discussion today, we're going to walk down a path laid out in our source material. First, we'll get to the bottom of this anxious heart of ours. Then, we'll go through a really powerful three-step method for finding true peace. And we'll wrap things up by looking at this peace through some beautiful analogies that really help us grasp just how real this boundless mercy is.
Okay, so first up, let's really dig into the problem, the anxiety of a restless heart. The source argues that this constant questioning, this "what should I do?" isn't just stressful, it actually clouds our judgment. When we get trapped in that cycle of trying to calculate the perfect outcome for ourselves, our minds get foggy, our hearts can't settle, and peace feels totally impossible.
So, what's the way out? What's the alternative to all this anxiety? This brings us to the core idea of our guide today, finding the path to true peace. And the source proposes this profound shift in how we see things, moving from trying to control everything to just trusting. It suggests that real peace doesn't come from us figuring out all the right answers. Nope, it comes from surrendering that need for control and placing our complete trust in what the source calls Allah's all-encompassing mercy. Now, what's really fascinating here is the subtle but crucial distinction this slide makes. See, most of us, we don't have a problem believing in God's power, that He's all-powerful. Sure, we get that. But deep down, maybe unconsciously, we might be harboring little doubts about His love for us personally, or His perfect knowledge of our specific situation, or His truly infinite generosity.
So how do we fix that unconscious doubt? Well, the source offers a really practical three-step method of reflection. Let's start with step 1. Embracing divine love. And this is all about truly realizing that you are cherished.
The source suggests just repeating this simple but incredibly powerful affirmation. And it's not just about saying the words. It's a tool to kind of rewire our hearts to accept a fundamental truth. Allah loves me and wants what is good for me. Letting that sink in is the whole point.
And listen, this isn't just some ordinary love we're talking about. The source is very clear. This is a love that is greater than the love you have for yourself. It's a love that is deeper than the most devoted parent or spouse could ever offer. It's a love that is laser-focused on your ultimate, eternal well-being, not just on making you feel comfortable in the moment. Okay, so once we begin to really internalize that we are loved, the source says that the second step just follows naturally. And this step is all about trusting divine knowledge. Basically, surrendering to a plan that is far, far greater than anything we could ever come up with on our own. And here's the second affirmation. Allah knows more than I do. This right here, this is the key to letting go. It completely releases us from the burden of needing to have everything figured out, from demanding that things happen exactly how we want them, when we want them. So the crucial point here is the massive difference in perspective. We see this tiny, tiny sliver of reality. We might desperately want a certain job or a specific person or a particular result right now. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He sees the entire tapestry of our existence, from the very beginning to the very end. He knows the long-term consequences of every single choice and the absolute perfect timing for everything in our lives. We see a moment, He sees eternity. All right, so if we accept that we're loved and we trust in a wisdom that's way bigger than our own, what's left for us to do? Well, that brings us to the third and absolutely crucial step of this method, embracing the power of asking. The source here uses this beautiful Turkish concept, cömertlik, which means generosity, and it asks us to think about the most generous person you know. Don't they just delight in giving things to people? The analogy is that as the most generous, Allah loves it when we turn to Him and ask. That very act of asking is in itself a cherished form of connection. And this illustrates the dynamic of it all so brilliantly. Of course, countless blessings are just given to us without our ever asking for them. But many other doors of blessing are specifically designed to be opened by the key of our asking. The source says Allah rejoices when we turn to Him, acknowledging our need and His infinite capacity to give.
So that's the three-part method. Embrace the love, trust the knowledge, and then actively participate through the power of asking. It's such a clear path from anxiety to connection. By the way, if you're finding this helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like our video, and turn on the notification bell. Now let's deepen this understanding with some really powerful imagery.
Now that we've walked through the three-step method, let's explore how the Source beautifully visualizes the nature of this divine mercy we're trying to tap into. It's really quite amazing.
The first analogy is an ocean. Picture it. Allah's mercy is a vast, limitless, endless ocean. The amount we receive isn't limited by the ocean itself, but by the size of the container we bring to it. If you approach with the capacity of a tiny cup, you'll get a cupful. But if you come with the capacity of a giant bucket, you'll receive a bucketful. The mercy is infinite, the only variable is our capacity to receive it.
Next, imagine mercy as a brilliant, ever-present sun. The light is always shining. It's not the sun that's holding back. It's up to us to open a window in our own home, in our own hearts, to let that light just pour in. The more windows we open, the more light floods our lives. And for the final analogy, picture mercy as a constant, gentle spring rain. It's always falling, always there to nourish us. But what happens if we're standing out in that rain, holding up an umbrella? The Source says our own worries, our anxieties, and our suspicions are that umbrella. They are the thing we hold up that prevents this life-giving rain from ever even touching us.
After walking us down this path, the Source kind of distills everything down to three essential points about what is most cherished, what is most beloved. According to the Source, these are three things that are especially beloved by Allah. He loves when He is spoken of with love, He loves when kindness is shown to any of His creation, any of His servants, and finally, reinforcing that core idea from our method today, He loves when a servant turns to Him in their moment of need and simply asks.
We'll end our journey here with the powerful and resonant question that the Source itself concludes with, a question that just cuts through all the noise, all the anxiety, and all the doubt. Is Allah not sufficient for His servant? If you found this guide valuable, make sure to follow Wisdom Time for more deep dives just like this one.